What's up, everybody? I'm Brandon here with Sinister Gaming, and today I have a brand new updated Drytron deck profile for you guys for the new Fall 2022 format. Alright, well, without further ado, let's get into it. But before we do, don't forget to drop a like. If I mess anything up or if you have any suggestions for me, go ahead and drop a comment down below. And don't forget to share it with somebody who likes Yu-Gi-Oh! And subscribe. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. First, we have the names, of course, starting off with the Alpha, the Zeta, the bread and butter combos. You know, these are the two cards you want to see in every starting hand. These are how you play the game of Drytron, basically. But we also run the 3 Delta. It lets you draw. It's good for the grind. It's good because it's another name. But this time around, only 2 Gamma. The reason why only 2 Gamma is I feel personally it's the one that does the least by itself, and also having 2 copies of Gamma doesn't even really do much. So it's there at 2 in case you want to see it sometimes, but not all the times. No, but it's there at 2 so you can search for it, dump it if you need it, and if not, it's just an extra name. It's still a name, so we want at least 2, but it's not one of the better names, so to say, so only 2 is fine. We are still running the Draconids allowing us to push for damage. Also, the send effect is really good against things like Runic, things like Sprite that really need the field spell or the monster on the board, the level 2, so to say. You can go ahead and just quick effect send it off, and then you're good to go. For more copies of names, we're also running the Drytron Nova at 3 and the Cyber Emergency at 3. These can just be any name that you want. They're spell cards, activatable once per turn, each of them, but you still want to see it, so I think 3 of each is still very nice. It's allowing you to see more names. 2 names in hand is what you always want to see, so we're still playing 6, 3 Nova, 3 Emergency. And that's it for the names. For the star of the show, Benten, as well as her sisters, Ideten and Natasha. So Ideten, it's the only one that I have even considered dropping. Natasha is just too good to drop, especially with tier elements taking so long in time. It's a way to guarantee have life gain in time if you happen to catch yourself there. The Ideten is just so good at recurring the ritual spell. I cannot cut it. It's just so good. It's working so far for everything that I need it to do. It's working in the 1 name hands where I need to bring it back while still keeping access to my ritual spell. It's working in every situation where I need it. It doesn't really seem like a brick. It's a ritual monster, so it plays with the Drytrons. It's just working too good right now to want to cut it at all. The Natasha, as I said, it's just so good, even in the main deck for going second scenarios. It's great at breaking boards. For other fairies, we have the Orange Light, the Diviner, and the Vanity's Ruler. So we're playing 1-1. They were both searchable, both normal summons, so I don't really want to play multiple Diviner when I know my main game plan is to normal summon the Vanity Ruler. The Diviner is still there to search for extra negate with the Orange Light, or it could be searched on the follow-up. We are also playing some stuff in the extra deck that could bring it back on our opponent's turn. Kind of spicy. But with us playing the Ruler, we have to also be playing the Magikey package. So the Magikey package is pretty much just this Magikey ritual monster which searches this Magikey trap card. And this trap card is a spell speed 3 spell and trap negate. It can also, when you negate, it also calls an attribute, which can come up in some matchups, for example the Marincess matchup, or things like that that rely heavily on their attribute for their link summoning. It's not so often that it comes up nowadays, but if you ever find yourself in that rogue matchup, it can come in handy. It's primarily there to be able to stop Droplet and Dark Ruler being a trap. Usually people don't have traps to send off their Droplet, but also being a trap, it can respond to Dark Ruler. It being spell speed 3 means that very little things can respond to it, and with Red Reboot gone, it's damn near unstoppable. So I think it's very good to continue to play this package, especially since we're playing the Vanity's Ruler, and this is the card that stops the cards that we lose to. We lose to Droplet and Dark Ruler, right? So this stops Droplet and Dark Ruler. So we're playing this little package. It's only 2 cards. Why not play it? We're also playing another package, slightly more than 2 cards. We're playing triple pre-prep, the 1 Dawn, and the 1 Perfection. We had to go back to this once the Benten came off the list. With Benten at 3, it's a lot more likely that you're going to open the Benten. And with this also in your arsenal, your chances of drawing into it with Delta are quite high if you're playing it at 3, and also playing it at 3 allows you to possibly open it as well. So if you open this and Benten, it allows you to get a Perfection online very, very early on with 2 fairies in hand, because the Dawn will add back the Benten and the Benten will trigger because you tributed it, searching you another fairy. So it's very good to have just an instant double negate, omni negate to protect yourself from all these hand traps that are most likely going to be running around in the fall format, as well as things like Nibiru. So this package, I think so far it has been working out very well for me, and I think I will keep playing it moving forward, especially with Benten off the list. It just becomes that much more powerful and that much more consistent. For going second cards, we are playing triple Droplet, as it's pretty much free with the Drytrons. You have so many cards that are just free to discard. All the names are just free to discard. They play in the grave, so it's perfectly fine to dump them with Droplet. And we're also playing the Talents. Talents is great at breaking boards, and going first, it's really good with all the hand traps. Like I said, I can kind of tell that there's going to be a lot of hand traps being played in the main now, seeing as how the most powerful decks have gotten brought down just a little bit. Seems like hand traps have gotten just slightly better, so I'm assuming that they're going to be seeing more play in the main. So I'm testing out the triple tactic Talents. It's great going first to be able to either peek, shuffle something back, shuffle back a starter, or as well being able to just draw 2 more cards, maybe get you into that other name that you needed, maybe get you into that normal summon, that pre-prep, that whatever you need, you know, it could just possibly get you there. So I think Talents is a great card for this upcoming format. And for the last one-ups, we're playing the 1 ritual spell, the Called By, the Foolish, and the Mystic Mine out in the main deck. That pretty much wraps it up for the main deck. We'll go ahead and take a look at the side. No, we'll take a look at the extra. We'll save the side for last. So you gotta have your Bandai tokens. Bandai tokens are the best, right? Yep. Okay, so then we're gonna be playing the 2 Mu Beta, the 1 Downerd Magician, the 1 Beatrice, and the 1 Zeus. So these are their XYZ package. The Mu Beta mandatory pretty much at 2. You could probably bump it up to 3, seeing as how it's so good in the Runic matchup. In the Runic matchup, I have somewhat missed a 3rd one every now and then, but at the same time, I kind of just decided to play a little bit smart. It says 2+ level 1 monsters, so you can actually make a Mu Beta with 3 or 4 materials under it. And with the Magikey ritual monster, it being a machine, allows this to become a Spell Trap Negate, which can be very important in the Runic matchup. And the fact that it says 2+, being able to make it with 3 or 4 Drytron monsters, giving it 3 or 4 negates, right, can be pretty important in a matchup where spells and traps are pretty important. For our Diviner targets, the Arclight and the Entis, right? So Diviner on summon, special or normal, sends a light fairy. Usually we're sending one of these 2. This is very good for going second. It helps you break boards while turning Diviner into a floodgate out, so to say. It outs floodgates, it outs problematic monsters that can be destroyed. Arclight always getting you a search. We're 90% of the time sending Arclight, but Entis has some really nice interactions. So for our Link monsters, we have Link Karivo, Elf Sprite, IP Masquerena, Nightmare Phoenix, and Nightmare Unicorn. This is our little Link toolbox package. The Link Karibo is mandatory for sometimes needing to link off your Drytron when you summon it up with Nova or things like that. So the Link Karibo is just really good. It's also really good leaving on board with the ruler. With the Vanity's Ruler, it allows it so they can't really attack over it as easily. And if you have Link Kuriboh, a Drytron on board as well as the ruler, it stops 2 attacks because you tribute it, making their attack 0, then you tribute the Drytron, bring it back, and now you can make another attack 0 as well. So it becomes attacking over Vanity's Ruler not the easiest thing. And if the Vanity's Ruler happens to stick around, it could become a problem for the follow-up as well. We're playing the Elf. It's very, very good in the end combo board. You go ahead and just end on Sprite Elf, being able to bring back the Diviner, turning the Diviner into a quick effect pop, because it'll bring it back, and then on summon, it'll be able to send the Entis, popping a card on your opponent's side of the field. So it has a lot of utility in the deck, as well as just being able to play a little bit on your opponent's turn. The IP is also there for the same reason. We want to play on our opponent's turn, being able to Phoenix or Unicorn as a quick effect, which is very, very nice. It's been a standard in Drytron. Some people decided to cut it. I decided to keep it around. We're also playing 2 Link 4s. We're playing Boral Sword and Appaloosa. These are the 2 most important Link 4s, I think. Access code is very good. Access code is worth it, I think. But Boral Sword is just a lot easier to make, and it allows you to just link climb so easily. It's just a Link 2 and 2 Drytrons, or a Link 2 and Natasha effect to take. That's an easy Boral Sword. You don't really have to goof around too much, and it's game always, right? Sometimes access code isn't game. Drytron and an access code, that's not game. Drytron and Boral Sword, that's game. We're also playing Appaloosa, just because it's a pseudo floodgate with the effect stopper. Not once per chain, but still very, very good. Very easy to make as well. And for the Link 5, we are playing the Goddess. The Goddess is very good at outing just tricky stuff. For example, the 2 element Kaleido Heart, quite tricky to out, as well as things like Dragoon, could be coming back soon. You never know with the recent reprints. Maybe some people will be deciding to pick it up and play it. So it's just really good at outing little towers-like monsters like that. So I feel like it definitely deserves a spot in the extra deck. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and go onto the side deck. So the side deck is pretty much tailored right now for going second. I feel like our going first main deck is very, very good. So I pretty much built the side deck to help us go second. For our monsters, we have Jolin Lockbird helping us in the mirror match, as well as if people still try to play the danger tier variant. It's very good at stopping that as well. We also have the Lava Golem for those big monster boards, right? Those are our monsters. We have the Dark Ruler No More for more stopping things that we don't want our opponent to be doing, right? When they set up a board that we just think is too hard to out, we will have triple Droplet, triple Dark Ruler More, and also 2 Imperms. The Imperm is really, really good. It's my hand trap of choice. This format is really, really hard to stop. It's hard to play through. You can't counter it with things like Talents. You can't counter it with things like Called by the Crave. Crossout is not really seeing play that much, and that's one of the few cards that can counter it. So decided to go ahead and at least side those for going second. For some back row hate, we have double Twin Twister and triple Evenly. So Twin Twister is really, really good because it's chainable. It also doesn't make you lose life points, so it could be used in time. For example, if you have a spell heavy hand or something and it's game 3 and they flip up anti-spell fragrance, right? It's very nice to have a Twin Twister instead of a Cosmic Cyclone at that point. Evenly Match has always been one of my favorite cards. It's so powerful. It's so good. Giving up your battle phase, of course, does hurt, but it doesn't matter when you eliminate them down to only 1 card and your whole game plan is to set up a ruler. So you put them down on very little resources. You set up ruler, which is such a strong floodgate, maybe even a herald to back it up, or a Magikey trap, right? And then you pretty much go from there and you win the game on the clapback. But that's my deck profile. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been very nice showing it to you guys. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you.